The drama in Atlanta has officially reached its boiling point, and fans can't stop talking. After months of tension, explosive arguments, and public shade, it looks like young Jock may have finally done the unthinkable, fallen in line with Kendra Robinson's rules. But is it genuine growth, or just another temporary truce in their chaotic love and hip-hop Atlanta saga? Viewers are divided, insiders are leaking messages, and social media is eating up every new twist. It all started when Jock's latest club appearance went viral, not because of a performance, but because of who he wasn't with. Fans noticed Kendra was missing, and that absence triggered a tidal wave of speculation. Soon after, a leaked voice note began circulating online, allegedly featuring Jock confessing that Kendra had set new conditions for their marriage, including who he could see, where he could go, and even how late he could stay out. The bombshell. According to a close insider, Jock agreed to every one of her rules. But fans aren't convinced this newfound obedience is out of love. Some say it's guilt. Others think it's fear of losing everything. Meanwhile, Kendra has been spotted looking more confident than ever, and rumors are swirling that she's ready to rebuild the empire her way. But make no mistake, this isn't the happy ending it appears to be. Behind the smiles, whispers of manipulation, betrayal, and power plays are spreading fast. And if the latest leaked text threads are true, young Jock's submission might just be the calm before another love and hip-hop storm. The tension between young Jock and Kendra has always been one of the most unpredictable storylines in Love and Care and hip-hop Atlanta. But this time, things hit a whole new level. What started as a small disagreement about boundaries and communication has spiraled into one of the most shocking power shifts fans have ever seen. Over the years, Jock has earned his reputation, the charming, hilarious, slightly reckless rapper who always finds a way into messy situations. But Kendra, she's always been this structured one, disciplined, no nonsense, and unwilling to tolerate the chaos that seems to follow Jock everywhere. From the very start of their relationship, fans knew it was only a matter of time before those two worlds collided. And now, after months of rumors, leaked voice notes, and explosive social media hints, it seems Jock has finally accepted that the only way forward is by playing by Kendra's rules. Insiders close to the envied couple have revealed that this new agreement wasn't born out of peace talks or romantic reconciliation. It came after a massive, behind-the-scenes argument that reportedly shook their entire circle. One producer from Love and LHHATL claimed Kendra laid it out clearly. Either Jock changes, or she's done for good. No more chances, no more back and forth. She told him he had to choose between the streets and his marriage. And in a surprising twist, Jock, the same man who used to say he'd never be tamed, apparently said yes. According to leaked DMs between mutual friends, Jock agreed to every single boundary Kendra set. No more late-night parties. No more business meetings that end at 3 a.m. No more female friends that seem to only call when Kendra isn't around. It's strict, it's personal. And it's exactly what Kendra's been asking for since day one. But not everyone's convinced. This is about love. Some insiders believe Jock's compliance isn't coming from the heart, it's coming from fear. Rumors suggest Kendra has been quietly preparing herself for an exit, with talks of separate bank accounts, new property investments in her name only, and even conversations with divorce attorneys just in case. One close friend allegedly told a blogger, Jock saw those papers coming. He knew if he didn't get it together, Kendra was walking out and she wouldn't be looking back. Fans online have been divided. On one side, there are those who say Jock is finally growing up, learning that being faithful and respectful isn't a weakness. They're praising Kendra for holding him accountable and showing other women how to set firm boundaries. On the other side, though, some feel Kendra's control is going too far, calling her behavior controlling, cold, and even revenge-driven. Love isn't about putting someone on a leash. One Twitter user wrote, "It's about trust. And if Kendra has to control his every move, that's not love, that's prison." Meanwhile, Jock has been playing his part in public. He's been quieter on social media, more cautious in interviews, and noticeably absent from many of his old hangout spots. Even his castmates have noticed the change. In one leaked behind-the-scenes clip, Scrappy can be heard joking, "Man, Jock ain't been outside since Kendra set the rules. He a whole married man now, curfew and everything." Jock laughed it off at first, but his silence afterward told a different story. People close to him say he's genuinely trying to make it work, that deep down. He knows he's lucky to still have Kendra in his life. He's been through so much with her, a source shared. He knows she doesn't play games. This isn't the kind of woman you can lose and replace. Kendra's a boss, and Jock knows that if he doesn't get it right, he's done. But while Jock's friends are cheering him on, others are starting to wonder what's really motivating him. Has he truly changed? Or is this just damage control? The real turning point, according to insiders, came after an explosive fight earlier this summer. Cameras weren't rolling, but word of the argument spread fast. Apparently, Kendra confronted Jock after seeing messages from a woman she didn't recognize. Though Jock claimed it was nothing, Kendra wasn't having it. That same night, she reportedly packed a bag and left for nearly a week. No calls, no texts, no explanations. When she finally came back, the tone had changed. Kendra told Jock that things would never be the same again, not unless he proved himself. And that's when she laid down the rules. Rule number 1, total transparency. Every call, every message, every event had to be open. No secrets. Rule number 2, professional boundaries. No more female business partners unless Kendra was introduced and comfortable. Rule number 3, respect her time. No more late nights. No more ghosting for hours without contact. And rule number 4, the biggest one of all, if he breaks any of them, even once, it's over for good. For someone like Jock, who's always been known for his independence, those rules sound suffocating. But surprisingly, sources say he didn't fight back. He simply said, "All right." People close to Kendra say she's still skeptical. She's been burned before and isn't interested in being made a fool of again, especially not on national TV. That's why she's moving differently now. She's been more focused on her career, her fitness, even teased a possible new business venture separate from Jock entirely. She's protecting her peace, one insider explained. Kendra gave him a second chance, but it's on her terms now. She's not begging, she's not chasing, she's watching. Meanwhile, the Love and Hip Hop cameras have reportedly started capturing the aftermath of this new power balance. Producers are thrilled because it's creating tension not just between Kendra and Jock, but with the other cast members too. Apparently, Carly Red and Sierra Gates have both commented on how different Jock seems now. Quieter, less confident, almost like he's walking on eggshells. One crew member described it as awkward energy between them. They're still together, but it doesn't feel the same, they said. You can feel the distance, like Jock's afraid to breathe wrong. And while Kendra seems calm and collected on camera, fans have noticed the subtle shade in her tone. She's no longer laughing off Jock's jokes or playfully teasing him like before. Now, her words are precise, her demeanor sharp, okay? And her energy focused. It's almost like she's saying, "You had your fun. Now it's my turn." What happens next could decide everything, because even though Jock may be following her rules now, one slip could send their fragile truce straight back into chaos. And judging by what's coming in the next episode, this obedient Jock era might not last as long as everyone thinks, because behind the scenes, a new rumor is already brewing, one that could unravel everything. Kendra's built and expose whether Jock's loyalty is truly real, or just another act. As the new episode of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta aired, fans immediately picked up on the strange tension between young Jock and Kendra Robinson. From the outside, they looked polished, calm, even united, but behind those smiles was an emotional storm waiting to erupt. Every glance between them felt loaded. Every sentence carried an undertone of resentment, especially when Jock's loyalty and honesty came into question. The drama reached its boiling point during a cast. Dinner, a setup producers clearly designed to stir the pot. Jock walked in late, wearing his trademark grin, trying to play it off like nothing was wrong. But Kendra's face told the whole story. Her eyes were cold. Her jaw was tight. You could practically feel the anger radiating from her seat. As the drinks flowed, Sierra and Erica Mena exchanged looks, whispering under their breath while Carly Red smirked. She knew something was coming. And sure enough, it didn't take long for things to explode. Kendra leaned forward and said, loud enough for the cameras to catch, "So, Jock, you still sticking to the story that you've been following all my rules?" The entire table went silent. Jock froze. For a split second, his usual charm vanished. Everyone knew what she was implying, that Jock had slipped up again. Jock sighed and tried to diffuse the tension with a joke. "Kendra, come on, baby. You know me. I've been home, I've been chillin', following your commandments like a good man. Following your commandments like a good man." But Kendra wasn't laughing. "Commandments," she snapped. "This isn't about control, Jock. It's about respect. You said you were done entertaining women behind my back. Yet I'm still getting DMs with screenshots. I'm still hearing about you showing up at parties you told me didn't exist. So which is it? The truth or another lie?" The room went still again. Jock's friends looked down at their plates. Carly tried to hide her grin behind a champagne glass. Even Scrappy leaned back, shaking his head like he wanted no part of what was coming next. JOC finally spoke up, his voice lower now. "Kendra, that's not fair. You know, people out here love to stir things up. Just because someone sends you something, don't make it real." But Kendra wasn't having it. She pulled out her phone and placed it on the table, the screen showing a blurry photo of Jock standing next to a woman at a club. "So that's not you. Because unless there's another man out here with your exact braids and your exact outfit, that looks pretty real to me." The cast gasped. Sierra muttered, "Oh Lord, here we go again." Jake's expression changed. He knew he couldn't deny it anymore. "That's an old picture, Kendra. From a promo event. You act like I was out here wildin'. I was working. Kendra laughed bitterly. "It's always work with you, Jock. You've been using that word to justify your behavior since the day I met you. Do you even hear yourself anymore?" At that moment, the camera zoomed in on Jock's face, and for once, the usual bravado was gone. He looked tired, defeated, like a man who'd run out of excuses. After a long silence, he muttered, "I'm trying, Kendra. I swear I am. You just don't see how hard it is for me to balance everything, my career, my family, this marriage. I'm doing my best." Kendra's voice softened just slightly, but her eyes stayed locked on him. "Your best isn't supposed to make me feel humiliated, Jock. I'm not your enemy. I'm your wife. But I can't keep fighting for something you keep breaking." That line hit hard. Even fans watching at home later said it gave them chills. On social media, clips from that dinner spread like wildfire. Hashtags like #TeamKendra and #PrayForJOC started trending within hours. Some fans called Kendra a queen for standing her ground. Others accused her of publicly embarrassing her man on TV. But things didn't stop there. After the dinner, Jock reportedly stormed off set, refusing to film the next few scenes. Producers were forced to pause shooting until both sides cooled off. According to insiders, Jock spent that night venting to Scrappy and Kirk, telling them he felt trapped and constantly tested. "She don't trust me. Man," Jock said in frustration, according to one source. "It's like no matter what I do, she's already made up her mind about me. I can't live like this forever." Meanwhile, Kendra was seen leaving the dinner alone, escorted by production assistants. She didn't say a word, just shook her head and got in her car. That image, Kendra, walking away looking hurt but composed, became one of the most iconic moments of the season. Days later, on her Instagram Live, Kendra addressed the situation indirectly. Without naming Jock, she said, "Ladies, don't ever let love make you forget your worth. You can forgive someone 100 times, but if they're not growing with you, they're holding you back." Fans flooded her comments with messages of support. Some even begged her to leave Jock once and for all. But what really fueled the gossip mill was a cryptic comment left by Carly Red. "Sometimes the truth comes out at the dinner table." That comment set social media ablaze. People began speculating that Carly might have been the one who leaked the photo to Kendra in the first place, a theory that only added fuel to the fire. But the drama didn't stop there. A week later, Jock returned to filming looking visibly drained. He opened up during a confessional saying, "I know I messed up. I've made mistakes I can't erase. But I love Kendra. I just wish she'd see that instead of always waiting for me to fail." It was a rare, vulnerable moment from Jock, one that reminded fans of why they fell in love with him in the first place. But still, the question lingered. Was he being sincere or just saying what people wanted to hear? Meanwhile, Kendra met up with Erica and Bambi to talk things out. In that scene, she revealed she hadn't spoken to Jock in days. "He needs to learn that silence is also an answer," she said. "Sometimes I have to pull back and let a man feel what it's like to lose me, even if it's temporary." Erica nodded, saying, "Girl, I've been there. Men don't change until they see you walking away." But as emotional as that moment was, there was still one major twist coming. One that would completely flip the narrative. While Jock and Kendra's relationship was on pause, a new woman started making subtle moves online. Fans noticed her liking Jock's old posts, tagging him in club appearances, and even dropping cryptic captions like "Some people pretend to change. Others just get sneakier." It didn't take long for fans to connect the dots, and before the next episode even aired, gossip blogs started posting screenshots suggesting Jock had been spotted with that same woman again. The timing couldn't have been worse. Just as Jock was starting to win public sympathy, the internet turned on him overnight. Did Jock really fumble Kendra again? One headline read, "This man needs an intervention, not a marriage." By the time the news reached Kendra, insiders say she was done, emotionally checked out.com, but cold. She didn't yell, she didn't post, she simply went silent. And everyone knows when Kendra Robinson goes quiet, that's when things are about to get real. Because according to leaks from production, the next episode ends with Kendra making a decision that could change her entire life and possibly end her marriage once and for all. But the real shocker? Jock doesn't see it coming. He still believes he can fix things, but this time, it might already be too late. The days following the latest Love and Hip Hop Atlanta episode were a storm of whispers, speculation, and heartbreak. What began as a dinner table argument had turned into a full-blown public meltdown. Kendra Robinson had gone silent, removing every trace of young Jock from her Instagram, while Jock continued posting cryptic messages that made things worse instead of better. One caption read, "Some people want a perfect man but can't handle a real one," was clearly a jab, and fans knew exactly who it was directed toward. Within minutes, the post flooded with comments. "Jock, you just lost a real one. You still don't get it? Apologize before it's too late." But instead of backing down, Jock doubled down. He went live, pacing back and forth in his studio, his voice trembling between anger and exhaustion. "Everybody thinks they know what's going on, but they don't," he said. "People love to act like Kendra's this angel. But ain't nobody perfect. You think marriage is easy? Try living under a microscope while the world rooting for you to fail." The live ended abruptly, leaving fans stunned. Moments later, word spread that Kendra had been spotted filming a solo scene with producers. And insiders claimed it wasn't just a confessional, it was something much bigger. According to leaks, Kendra had sat down with her attorney on camera to discuss legal separation. She reportedly said, "I love him, but love isn't enough anymore. I can't keep saving a man who refuses to save himself." The moment aired weeks later, and it broke the internet. Fans filled the comments with heartbreak and disbelief. Some cheered for Kendra's strength, while others accused her of giving up to Izelli. But no matter which side you were on, one thing was clear. This was the beginning of the end. The tension reached its peak when the cast reunited for a group event, a charity fundraiser meant to promote unity and healing. Cameras were everywhere. You could cut the awkwardness in the air with a knife. Jock arrived first, dressed sharp, clearly trying to make a statement. But Kendra walked in minutes later, wearing white calm poised, an untouchable dot. When they finally came face to face, it wasn't loud. It wasn't chaotic. It was eerily quiet. "Can we talk?" Jock asked softly. Kendra nodded. They stepped away from the cameras, but of course, microphones still caught every word. Jock started first, his voice breaking slightly. "I know I messed up, Kendra. I keep trying to prove myself, and it seems like I just dig a deeper hole. I hate that it got this far." Kendra didn't interrupt. She listened, her arms crossed, her expression unreadable. When he finally stopped, she said, "Jock, it's not about one mistake. It's about a pattern. You apologize, you cry, and then you go right back to the same behavior. I've spent more time cleaning up your chaos than living in peace." Her words hit like a hammer. Even the producers watching from behind the scenes reportedly went silent. Jock rubbed his face, trying to hold himself together. "So, what are you saying? You done with me?" Kendra looked away for a moment, then said quietly, "I'm saying I'm done with the version of you that refuses to grow. If you can't evolve, then yeah, maybe I am done. Can't evolve, then yeah, maybe I am done." The line instantly became a viral quote, flooding timelines everywhere. "I'm done with the version of you that refuses to grow." Fans were calling it the realest line ever said on LHHATL. But Jock wasn't ready to let go. He followed her outside, away from the flashing lights, away from the crowd. "You don't mean that?" he pleaded. "Kendra, you my wife. You know how hard I've fought to keep this together?" Kendra turned to him, tears finally breaking through her calm exterior. "Then why do I always feel like I'm fighting alone?" There it was, the raw truth. The moment where the pain outweighed the pride. Jock reached out to hold her hand, but she pulled away, whispering, "Sometimes love isn't enough." The episode faded to black right there. No closure, no explanation. Just two people standing in silence under the Atlanta streetlights. But that wasn't the end in real life. The aftermath was even messier. Screenshots began circulating of alleged text messages between Jock and an unknown woman. Though unverified, they appeared to show flirtatious exchanges dated just days before the charity event. The internet exploded again, accusing Jock of failing the final test. TMZ's Tile Gossip blogs jumped on the story. With one headline reading, "Young Jock's last chance ruined, Kendra finds the final message that broke her heart." Jock went silent for several days, ignoring calls, texts, and filming obligations. Meanwhile, Kendra posted a single Instagram story, a black background with the words, "Closure doesn't always come with a conversation." That was the moment fans knew this wasn't for show anymore. The marriage was truly broken. But then, just when everyone thought it was over, Jock made one final move. During the reunion taping, he shocked everyone by walking onto the stage holding a letter. With tears in his eyes, he handed it to Kendra and said, "This ain't for TV. This is me saying sorry for real." The audience went quiet. Kendra opened the envelope, reading the words that would go down as one of the most emotional moments in love. And hip-hop history. "I've been my own worst enemy. I pushed away the best thing I ever had because I didn't know how to be loved, right? You deserve peace, even if it ain't with me." Gasps filled the room. Kendra covered her mouth, tears spilling down her cheeks. Jock looked down, his voice trembling. "I ain't asking for another chance. I'm asking for forgiveness. I'm asking for you to remember that I tried even when I failed." For the first time, Kendra didn't respond with anger. She reached over, placed her hand on his, and simply said, "Thank you." That moment wasn't a reconciliation, it was an ending. But it was a graceful one. When the cameras stopped rolling, Kendra reportedly walked backstage alone, whispering to producers, "That's closure." Jock stayed behind, sitting in silence for several minutes before quietly saying, "I really lost her." Social media exploded again, but this time the tone was different. Fans weren't mocking Jock anymore. They were sympathizing with him. He finally got it. One tweet read, "Sometimes losing someone is what wakes you up." The following week, Kendra released a statement confirming their separation. "Young Jock will always be part of my story," she wrote, "but this chapter has ended. Growth requires letting go." Jock responded with his own post a few days later. "No hate, no drama, just love and lessons. Wish her the best, always." It was the most mature thing either of them had said in months, and for the first time, fans felt a strange sense of peace about it. But one insider claims something else, that Jock wasn't done trying. According to a close friend, he's giving her space, but he still loves her. "He told me I'm not giving up, not yet." Whether that's true or not remains to be seen. But one thing's for sure, the love story between young Jock and Kendra Robinson may be messy, complicated, and painful. But it's one that continues to captivate audiences everywhere. Because even when the cameras stop rolling, their hearts are still fighting the same battle between pride and forgiveness, between endings and second chances. And deep down, everyone watching can't help but wonder, will they find their way back to each other? Or has this love finally run out of time? This entire story has left the internet in absolute disbelief. From young Jock's desperate apologies to Kendra Robinson's heartbreaking silence, fans can't stop talking about how this love story turned into one of the most emotional roller coasters in love and hip-hop Atlanta history. And the craziest part? It feels like it's not over yet behind the scenes. There are still whispers, secret conversations, unseen footage, and emotional confessions that haven't made it to air. Producers are reportedly holding back explosive moments that could completely change how fans see this breakup. And if what insiders are saying is true, the next reveal might shake everything you thought you knew about. Jock and Kendra. So if you've been hooked on this story from the start, if you've cried, screamed, or tweeted your heart out, now's the time to stay locked in. Because this isn't just drama. This is real emotion, raw pain, and the kind of truth reality TV can barely contain. Don't just scroll past. Hit that like button right now to show love to Kendra for standing her ground. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think young Jock deserves another chance? Or is it finally over for good? And most importantly, make sure you're subscribed with notifications on. Because the next episode might be the one that changes everything. The secrets are deeper, the emotions are heavier, and the next leak. It's coming sooner than anyone expects. Stay tuned, you won't want to miss what happens next.